Hello dear students, this is the first revision video and today we are going to revise all type of verbs in German and their conjugations. We have already seen verbs category wise, but today with this video I want to revise with you all the verbs, all three types of the verbs. Okay, so let us start. There are three types of verbs in German, as you already know. One, regelmäßige Verben, or we call them also schwache Verben, which are regular verbs or weak verbs. Second, unregelmäßige Verben, or we call them starke Verben, which are irregular, strong verbs. And the third type is trennbare Verben, which are separable verbs. Trennbare Verben include both regelmäßige and unregelmäßige Verben, and they have their own different rules. So let's start with some basic rules to remember about German verb. In the German language, verb plays an important role. Yeah, you need to remember that. Many other grammar topics or many other things they depend on verb. All verbs change their forms according to the subject of the sentence, and this form changing process we call conjugations. The conjugated verb always takes position 2 in the German sentence, that is, after the subject. Okay, German sentence is very flexible. You can start the sentence with subject or with object or with some other information about time or day, but the verb immediately comes after that. Or to be precise, the conjugated verb takes always position 2. There are three types of verbs: regular, which are weak verbs, irregular, which are strong verbs, and separable verbs. They include both weak and strong verbs. To remember, the conjugation of sein means to be. Ich bin. What is it? The next one. Du bist. Es sie ist. Wir sind. Ihr seid. Sie and sie sind. This verb, for example, is an extremely important verb. We need it very often to use, okay, to be like I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you all are, and they are. So the same verb in German is ich bin, du bist, sie ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie and sie sind. The second important verb is haben, to have. Ich habe, du hast, sie hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie und sie haben. Ich habe, I have, du hast, you have, sie hat, he, she, it has, wir haben, we all have, ihr habt, you all have, sie und sie haben. So haben is another important verb which we are going to need very often. Now what endings do the verbs take? Ich takes E, du takes ST, sie take T, wir take EN, ihr take T, and sie and she take EN. Correct? You already know that. These endings are there. Common, yeah, any category verb you choose, the endings will be like this only. There will be change in the root of the word, but endings will remain ich, E, du, ST, sie, T, wir, EN, ihr, T, sie, capital, and C, small. That is you, formal, and they, plural, EN. Okay, so these are going to be the endings. So let us conjugate the verb kaufen. Ich kaufe, du kaufst, sie kauft, wir kaufen, ihr kauft, sie and sie kaufen, right? Spielen, ich spiele. So see what I have done here. The root I have kept same. The root is same everywhere. Root is not changing. Now we are changing the endings. Ich spiele, du spielst, sie spielt, wir spielen, ihr spielt, Sie and sie spielen. Wohnen. Now again, wohn will be the root of the word. So it will be common. Ich wohne, du wohnst, sie wohnt, wir wohnen, ihr wohnt, sie und sie wohnen. Right? Common. Ich komme, du kommst, sie kommt, wir kommen, ihr kommt, sie and sie kommen. Correct? So these are the basic conjugations, yeah, where you are not going to change the root, but you will keep changing the ending. Heißen, a little different verb because we have here esset. The root ends with esset. So for do, we will add only t and not st. Ich heiße, du heißt. Now see, only t will be added because Asset plus one S is not needed because asset itself is pronounced as double S, as S. So we do not need three S. That's why only T will be kept. So ich heiße, du heißt, sie heißt, wir heißen, ihr heißt, sie and sie heißen. Okay? So whenever a root of the verb ends with asset, we are not going to add st to do but only t. If the root of the verb ends with T, D, M and N, we need to add extra E to the forms of do, RSC and ear. Okay? If the root of the verb ends with T, D, M, N, T, D, M, N, T, D, M, N. Some examples are here. For example, ich takes E, do takes not st, do takes, now do will take est. Okay, let us see. Yeah, do will take est, air will take t, e again, and ear also et. So earlier what we did, these were the normal endings, right? But now what we are learning, if the root of the verb is ending with t, d, m, n, then we need to add another e to do, RSE and ear forms. So it will become est, et and et. So what will be the conjugation of arbeiten? See, now arbeiten, the root arbeit is ending with t. So we need to apply this new rule. Ich arbeite, du arbeitest, sie arbeitet, wir arbeiten, ihr arbeitet, sie arbeiten. Let's take another example. Warten, to wait. Ich warte, du wartest, sie wartet, wir warten, ihr wartet, sie und sie warten. Next, London. Now the root is ending with d. Land. London means to land. Ich lande, du landest, sie landet, wir landen, ihr landet, sie landen. Correct? Do, RSC and ear forms take E. Schneiden also ends with D. Schneider to cut. Du schneidest. Sie schneidet. Wir schneiden. Ihr schneidet. Sie und sie schneiden. Atmen ends with M. Atmen. So we need to conjugate it similarly. Ich atme, du atmest, sie atmet, wir atmen, ihr atmet, sie und sie atmen, to breathe. Öffnen, to open. Ich öffne, du öffnest, sie öffnet, wir öffnen, ihr öffnet, sie and sie öffnen. Correct? Next one. Now let's see the difference. Now what we did, we conjugated the regular verbs, regelmäßige Verben. What did we do there? We changed the ending and the root remains same everywhere, right? Now we are going to see irregular verbs where root is also going to change, but only for do and rsd. Sorry, do and rsd forms, not everywhere. And ending also changes according to the personal pronoun used or according to the subject used in the sentence. Okay, let's see some examples. For example, the first change that takes place is I changes to E. Oh, sorry, it should be actually ulta. E changes to I. Yeah, E changes to I. For example, essen. Ich esse. Esse. This E is going to change to I in do form. Du isst, er sie isst. Once again. Wir essen, ihr esst. See, original is E. So here, no change. Esst, sie and sie essen. So, in the irregular verbs, there are three changes take place. Three changes take place in the irregular verbs. One of them is E changes to I. Another one, A changes to A umlaut or A changes to A umlaut. For example, schlafen, to sleep. Ich schlafe, du schläfst. Sie schläft. Wir schlafen, ihr schlaft, sie and sie schlafen. Okay. Next, lesen. Ich lese. Here E is going to change to IE. Du liest. So see, this E in lesen, this E, because in the root, which E is there in the root? LESE is there in the root. So this E will be changed to IE and then it becomes least. ASC, least, once again, because S, it is ending with S. So no need to add another S for do form. Wir lesen, ihr lest, sie and sie lesen. So these are the three basic changes they take place. We'll see some more examples where E changes to I. Conjugate it first on your own. See what happened. For do and RSD, I changed it to I. E changed to I. Ich spreche, du sprichst. Of course, we'll need to add endings as well. Sie spricht. Wir sprechen, ihr sprecht, sie and sie sprechen. Fahren, where A changes to A umlaut and that means to drive. Ich fahre. Okay, now we have it. Ich fahre. Du fährst. Sie fährt. Wir fahren. Ihr fahrt. Sie and sie fahren. Only do and RSC form you need to change. Sehen, where E changes to I. Ich sehe and E will be changed to I. See, it will be changed to IE and here also. Ich sehe, du siehst, sieht, wir sehen, ihr seht, sie and sie sehen. Schlafen, yeah, we just did schlafen. Ich schlafe, du schläfst, sie schläft, wir schlafen, ihr schlaft, sie schlafen. Lesen also we did right now. So just check the. See. So here, for example, if you add st, it it becomes double S, which is not needed because LIE least, you need to prolong it a lot a bit. So we take only T. This will be the conjugation of lazen. Name and changes a little more, where we omit H also because NIH, the combination doesn't exist in German. So nimmst, okay? Ich nehme, du nimmst, nimmt, wir nehmen, ihr nehmt, sie and sie nehmen. Okay. SN also we did right now. Ich esse, du isst. See now double three S, we don't need them. So we'll take only T. Du isst, sie isst, wir essen, ihr esst, sie and sie essen. Geben, ich gebe, du gibst, sie gibt, wir geben, ihr gebt, sie and sie geben. So these were the regular and irregular verbs. Now we are moving ahead to trennbare Verben. Trennbare Verben, yeah, separable verbs, okay. So the chain sign, you can separate them or just combine them. So this side, ein, an, ab, mit, zu. These are all prefixes. Fern, auf, aus. And kaufen, rufen, laden, fahren, bringen, hören, sehen, stehen, gehen. All these are the suffixes. So these are the verbs to be conjugated. And this side are the prefixes. You do not need to know need to change anything, but you need to write it at the end of the sentence. So let's see the rules first. Following are the separable prefixes. These are some of them. Okay, fair, for example, is also there, or in book we can find some other words. By using the prefix with the main verb, meaning of the verb changes either completely or slightly. For example, hören and aufhören. What does hören mean? Hören means to hear. But what is aufhören with a separable prefix? It means to stop or to get over with something, get finished with something, to stop. So aufhören and hören actually have nothing to do with each other. Aufhören has nothing to do with hearing. Kommen, zurückkommen. To come is kommen. And zurückkommen, to come back. So here the meaning changes slightly. But hören, aufhören is an example of the complete change in meaning. Conjugation of the verbs is done according to the rules of the regular and irregular verbs, and the prefix is written at the end of the sentence. Okay? The prefix is written at the end of the sentence. So let us see. Oh, sorry. So let us discuss the verbs here. For example, abfahren, to depart. Fahren means to travel, but abfahren means to depart, right? Kommen means to come, but mitkommen means to come along because mit means with. But see, not all prefixes will be changed. Okay, not all that means what I mean by that. Not all prefixes have their own meanings. Now, mit has the meaning with. Zurück means back. But ein, for example, it symbolizes, for example, get into, like einsteigen. Einkommen. Einkommen is actually to come in. So get into can be said. Into. Aus is always out of something. So like ausgehen, to go out. vor, über, an, auf. Wieder means again. Wieder means again. So if you want to say like, can you speak again? Then you can say, kannst du bitte wiederholen? Like repeat. So wieder is like repeating. And we also have here, yeah, up for example is like starting from some point. Okay, starting from some point. So these are the basic rules to remember about trennbare Verben, separable verbs, and the conjugation of the verb is done according to the rules of the regular and irregular verbs. So the second part of the verb, that is, for example, here we have hören or kommen. You need to know whether this verb is an irregular one or the regular one. Okay, and then you need to conjugate it. So this was it for the revision, about the revision of the verbs. Now I want you all to write down all the rules in your notebook, okay, and also the examples given in today's presentation. Conjugate them, okay, write the conjugations of the verbs and also the rules. Now what you need to do in the exam you will get fill in the blanks where you will have to choose the correct verb, or for example maybe the verb will be given into bracket and you will have to just conjugate it according to the rule. Okay, so that is going to be your task. Then I'll meet you the next time with another revision video in the next week. And in the meanwhile, complete your workbook without fail. Okay? Tschüss.